Cities are defined by their cultures. Those cultures could entail sports or business or certainly arts and entertainment. Oklahoma City is thriving in all of these areas, but who makes that all happen? This Town OKC explores the people behind the cultures, their origins, their motivations, their challenges, and their dreams. I'm Rick Allen Lippert. I've been in this town for over 50 years with a front row seat to seeing the culture grow from a dusty bus stop on the Southern Plains to a flourishing destination. Join me as we meet the folks behind the culture on This Town OKC. David Todd, thank you so much for sitting in the rehearsal studio here at Carpenter Square Theater, who sponsors this podcast. Welcome to This Town OKC.
Well, thank you. Glad to be here.
This is all about your oral history, as I say in the intro, the people behind the cultures. And certainly, MAPS has been a huge impact, probably the most important impact in Oklahoma City in its history. And you've been a big part of that for a long time. But I want to know, where are you from? How'd you get here?
Well, I was born in Tulsa.
Okay.
Quite a while ago.
Yeah.
Born in Tulsa, and then we moved to Oklahoma City when I was 7.
Okay.
So then I've been in Oklahoma City ever since.
Grade school?
Grade school, I went to Sky Ranch Elementary in the Moore Public School System.
Yeah, all right. All right. High school?
I went to the original Moore High School.
Okay. Forgive me for not knowing the mascot.
Lions.
Yeah.
Lions.
Okay. All right. College?
So then I did 2 semesters at the community college.
Okay.
To get started.
Yeah. Good for you.
Got a scholarship there, and then I transferred to the University of Oklahoma.
Okay.
And went to engineering school there.
All right. So I happen to know that you play still in a rock and roll band. Yep. When did that start for you?
First public show we did, I was 17.
Okay.
And I've been doing it ever since.
Playing guitar?
Yeah, playing guitar and singing, yeah.
Okay. Mainly covers? Any original stuff?
You know, back in the 80s, we dabbled in original stuff. And as you can imagine, that's a tough road, you know.
It is.
And
did you do any recording?
A little bit, yeah, we did. And then we did recording of covers and stuff just for our demo tapes. But,
right.
You know, Oklahoma as a whole really wasn't supporting that much original music back then.
You're right.
They weren't real tolerant of new stuff, and it was all about covers at the time. And I'm talking about mid 80s, you know.
Right.
And so we just switched to playing covers because it was fun.
Yeah.
You can make some money that way. And
playing bars?
Yeah, lots of clubs.
What's the biggest gig you ever did?
We opened for a group called Book of Love. This was
Can't say I've heard of them.
Well, it was in the mid 80s. They were kind of a new wave goth kind of a group, and we opened for that. And there was
What was the venue?
It was a club in Northwest Oklahoma City, big club, and there was probably, 3,000 people there.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fun. And then I've done the Arts Festival.
Sure.
You know, big stage there, a couple thousand people there. So those are all fun shows.
What's the name of your band?
Well, then it was Loose Change.
Okay.
Now I'm playing with some folks out of Tulsa.
Really?
Some friends of mine that I played in college when we've reconnected, and now we're called In Between Days.
Well, let's go back to OU and your engineering school. What was that like for you? What drew you to engineering?
You know, I think I've just always had that inclination. I mean, as a kid, lots of trucks and dirt and all that stuff, just fascination with water and those kind of things.
Now, did you doodle designs of bridges and stuff?
I started, you know, back then they had the mechanical drafting classes in school, in junior high. And I went right to that and did all the mechanical drafting 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th grade. Well, all the way
Okay.
through my senior year, because it wasn't a VOTEC kind of class. It
Right.
was a regular hour within the school, and did a whole lot of that, and started heading towards the drafting piece of it, and realized there was more to it than that I could actually be an engineer.
Yeah. I took a mechanical drawing class one semester in my 8th grade year. I liked it. I wasn't very good, but I sure liked it. Kind of like basketball. I really liked it.
Yeah.
I just wasn't very good at it.
Well, I enjoyed the drafting and kind of excelled in it. So
Good.
yeah.
Good. Did you ever design a building that got built?
So as a civil engineer, we don't necessarily do the buildings. Now, some people in civil do the structural piece of it, but I was more of a site design, or I still am a site design and hydraulics person. But
What was your first job out of college?
my first job out of college was with an engineering firm, Clowers Engineering.
Okay. Dennis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was there year and a half, almost 2 years, and then I went to work for the city.
Okay.
In the public works department.
Right. When Paul Brum ran it?
Right. And I did 5.5 years in public works, and then went out into the public sector and ended up starting my own firm.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And what did you do as an independent? Were you by yourself, or did you have people working for you?
Well, I literally started at my kitchen table,
Good.
doing a little bit here and there for other engineers that had too much work, and then picking up little piddly stuff, but it paid the bills, and,
sure.
slowly built it over the course of 17 years. Ended up having 7 employees. And
So you had your own firm for 17 years?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Did a whole lot of commercial site design stuff. Did a lot of subdivisions, residential subdivisions, industrial subdivisions, roadway widening, drainage stuff, utilities, water, sewer, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
The not real sexy stuff, but nobody notices it until it doesn't work, right?
I was trying to find another way of saying not very sexy, but
Yeah.
thanks for putting that out there. But that, like you say, it's bread and butter stuff. It has to be done, and Lord knows we rely on all of that stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty important to have clean water and not stopped up sewers.
Yeah. So what got you back to the city? I mean, I'm going to assume you were relatively successful as an independent. What was your company name?
It was Todd Engineering.
Okay.
Company out of Tulsa was wanting to expand, and we talked about purchasing my company at the same time. The city was going through a change, and knew that I had city experience, previous experience, knew, a lot of the players, knew how it worked, and asked me if I'd be interested in coming back, and it just kind of aligned.
And when you came back, it was to run the maps office?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's what I've been doing since.
Yeah.
For 14 years, 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just to put a timestamp on this, we're recording in the latter part of January 2026.
Yeah.
So 14 years would have been
2012. Yeah.
2012. How far along was MAPS by then? I mean, the first projects came on around 96, 97?
So when I got here, there was still Maps for Kids to be done, quite a bit,
Okay.
and Maps 3 had just gotten off the ground.
Okay.
Really had only completed the timeline and gotten the basic stuff, nailed down, and were ready to start doing the project. So I picked up the Maps 3 stuff pretty much from the get-go.
Okay.
And then finished out, as I said, some of the Maps for Kids projects.
Yeah. That has to be a roller coaster of a job. Overseeing all the MAPS projects.
Yeah, it can be. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
I remember quipping to city manager Terry Childers when MAPS first passed, when I worked at the city. And I quipped to him one day. He didn't appreciate my joke. I said, by the time these projects finally get built, I can I can get through law school, so I can help defend the city on some of the lawsuits that will be coming. And he did not appreciate it.
Yeah. Can't imagine. Part of the issue with the time on maps is that it's a cash program.
Exactly.
And we have to collect the money. But the other thing is, it really doesn't necessarily take longer than any of the other projects. It's just that you're seeing it.
Right.
The bond projects can already be started, and you don't even know they're started until they break ground, and then you know that they're building them.
Right.
But because of the system we have with the subcommittees and the advisory board, and then ultimately, the stuff goes to council all the way through, and there's a lot of attention on the projects. They're not, mundane kind of things.
No.
People see it from the very beginning and then watch it all the way along. Now, some of them do take long because of the cash issue.
Right.
It took almost 10 years from the time MAPS 3 was passed to finish the convention center, but that was the plan. We always knew that.
Yeah.
Because that was the big elephant in that project.
Yeah.
It was $160 million, $190 million all in, and took a while to collect all that and do some of the other projects as we're going along.
Which sounds like a lot of money, 160, 190 million. Sounds like a lot of money until you look at what other cities are building in terms of convention centers and arenas, and there's another zero or two on those price tags.
Yeah, we were never going to compete with Chicago or Las Vegas or any of that. It was a effort to get us into the next tier, and the way things have increased in cost in the last 5 or 6 years has been tremendous. So we hit that one at a pretty good time.
Yeah.
I think we got a really good bargain on that.
It's a fantastic convention center.
Yeah.
And then to have the Omni Hotel next to it, that's a nice plus.
Yeah, right there at the corner, there's about $750 million worth of new investment at the time between streetcar, the Omni, the convention center, the park, the streets that we built in there. So there was a lot put into that one area.
Would you say the convention center is the biggest project that you've overseen in terms of maps?
Yeah, in terms of maps, yeah.
Well, and what about other terms? What other project was maybe bigger?
So the maps office, while not a traditional maps project, but we are overseeing the arena,
right?
New arena,
the $1 billion arena.
Yeah, so it's worth as much as more than the MAPS 3 whole program.
Right. I do remember when the original MAPS was proposed, and it was almost $300 million, and the public was just agog with, how can we commit to that? And that little $300 million has done, it's tenfold what.
Yeah, it's had a tremendous impact.
Yeah.
It changed everything.
It did.
And then the Maps for Kids was about $550, and then Maps 3 was $777, and then some because there was excess collections and some interest. But yeah, it's increased each time.
So now we're in Maps 4. Let me back up. Maps 3 is now completely done, right, with the opening of the Fairgrounds Arena, the Coliseum.
So
which is the Maps 3, Maps 4 thing.
Right, those are intermingled. All of the original Maps 3 projects are complete.
Okay.
We've still got some work to do at Union Station at the park that has had some difficulties budget-wise right now, but it's being built out of excess collections. So, yes, the original Maps 3 has been completed for a couple of years.
So now we're into Maps 4, and just I know because I see you at the meetings every month. For the listeners of this, I'm on the venues subcommittee for Maps 4. Specifically, I wanted on there for the multipurpose stadium, and I'm so happy that it's coming along, and we have wonderful plans, and I'm excited that Populous is the architect because they design some really phenomenal stadiums.
That's right. Yeah, I'm glad they are architect. But there's a lot of good architects, but I'm very happy with what Populous has done.
Yeah. So this may sound critical, but it's just been my observation because of my time back at the city with the original maps, that the city has a tendency to sometimes do things on the cheap because I don't know, an inferiority complex. We think, we can't spend. I mean, going back to the original maps with $300 million, it was like, oh my God, we can't spend that. And so I always think a lot of these projects need to have, need to be doubled. The stadium, for instance, I think that price ought to be doubled. But you have restrictions to work within.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, kind of weird that you say that, though, but we just went through and talked about all the great projects that we have.
Right. Yeah, that have done so well. And this stadium will be a showcase. I just think...
Well, you could always put more money into everything, right? Where does that end,
Yeah,
so we have a limited amount of what we can raise and what we can afford and what we think needs to be in the project, and that's what we deliver.
Right. And remind me, the MAPS 4 sales tax is 10 years. Isn't that right? I know the original was 5. We extended it for 6 months. Isn't MAPS 4 for 10 years?
I think it's 8.
Oh, okay.
I should know this, but I don't. I've got so many dates in my head.
Sure.
I think it's 8.
It's longer than 5. I know that.
Yes.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm in it for the long haul. However long it takes.
It's 8 or 10.
Okay.
So I apologize to everybody out there. I should know that, but I can't remember this morning.
So there is, fortunately, some significant private investment to go into this stadium.
Yes.
What are some of the other MAPS 4 projects that you're excited about?
Well, I think the company line is I'm excited about all of them. But I really
pick your favorite child.
I truly am. There's so many projects that are going to change people's lives. Youth centers.
Yes.
Going to have a huge impact. The mental health stuff that we're building, the restoration center, the crisis center, the housing that goes along with that'll have lasting impacts and change people's lives. Palomar.
Yeah.
The Palomar presently operates and they do great work, stuff I couldn't even begin to do. I can build stuff, but I can't do those things. We're going to give them 3 times as much space to do what they do, to do more of it. And unfortunately, it's needed.
Right.
Same thing with Diversion Hub. They're presently operating, do fantastic work, so valuable to the community, and we're going to more than double their space and give them new facilities that they'll be able to operate.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, the new multipurpose stadium, the Coliseum at the fairgrounds, these are all fantastic projects. And even sidewalks. Sidewalks are so popular among everybody, and it excites me to see people using them the day after we take the forms off.
Yeah.
Literally. I see that all the time.
Yeah.
So you know that those are needed. I'm trying to go down through the list of projects, but they're all my favorites, so to speak,
Okay. As well they should be for where you are in your position. I mean, you have to be passionate about all of these.
Yeah, it's just wonderful what it's going to do.
Yeah. Different topic altogether. I happen to know that you and my wife, Gwen, were classmates in Leadership Oklahoma City.
That's right.
That was class 18, as I recall.
That's right.
That was a great class. I know every class says they're the best class ever, but that class 18, I mean, there's some heavyweight in there.
We had a good time. We have a good group.
Yeah. And I love accompanying her to the regular reunions.
Yeah, you get to go to all the get-togethers.
Yeah. My class, it's been over 10 years since we had our last get-together.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And at the holiday party, I'm always excited to see maybe one person from my class.
Right. Well, it just takes that one instigator, so to speak, to get everybody to get together once a quarter or so and just have dinner, have drinks, or just hang out a little bit after work.
So what would you say has been your personal benefit from Leadership Oklahoma City?
Well, at the time, I didn't know a lot about the social services and some of the other things that weren't engineering and construction related, you know, and the networking certainly is important and valuable, but getting to understand the nonprofit side of the city and all the things that go on, you think you know, but you don't.
Yeah.
Until you see all the other things that are going on out there.
Yeah.
So I think it is a wonderful program.
Me too. Chrissy Zelli has sat across the table from me.
Yeah.
Here. That was fun.
Yeah, I feel very fortunate to have gone through that.
Yeah. Well, you were right. Not very long.
I'm not real exciting.
Well, that's not entirely true. I'd like to. Let's get back to your rock and roll. Who's your favorite all-time group?
Man, you know, asking a musician that's hard because there's so many influences, so many obvious ones, and you know, I enjoy a broad spectrum of music. Anytime I'll listen to a lot of stuff, you know, from Led Zeppelin to Michael Bublé, you know, and old school country and those things. I listen to it all. So I think that my favorite would be whatever's moving me at the time, you know?
Okay, yeah. You know, I say whenever anybody asks me what's my favorite Beatles album, I'll say the one I'm listening to.
Yeah, exactly.
So how many guitars do you have?
Goodness, let's make sure my wife isn't listening to this. I might have a few squirreled around. I probably got 15 or so.
No kidding.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite one?
Oh,
I know that's unfair, but
well, my go-to, the one I play on stage all the time, is my Stratocaster.
Okay. How old is it?
It's about 25 years old.
Okay. What kind of amp?
I play through a Mesa Boogie. It's a Mesa Boogie Mark IV.
That's a brand I've never heard of.
Yeah, well, it's got a few years on it too, but it's very reliable and my favorite.
You playing the Arts Festival again this spring?
No, I haven't played in the Arts Festival in a couple of years. You know, I did. It gets difficult as you get older, and
Sure.
and the band has jobs and
family and
and trying to manage all that. So Loose Change played the Arts Festival probably 25 straight years.
Wow.
You know, at one slot or another.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did a couple of years of solo stuff, just doing a acoustic thing. And then we just kind of leave it to the youngsters now.
I understand. So I see you wearing a Callaway pullover. You play golf?
I do. Yeah. I enjoy that. Not real good.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it.
Where do you play?
I play at a country club called Hidden Trails, which is in South Oklahoma City, right there on I-240.
Yeah.
You always see it right there by the Olive Garden.
It used to be Southern Oaks?
Well, it was Willow Creek for a while,
Okay.
and it was Hillcrest.
Okay.
Yeah, originally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been there since the early 50s.
Yeah.
I think 54.
Yeah.
But, you know, I play, the city has some fantastic municipal courses.
They do.
All of them are fantastic, so we'll get out and play those occasionally.
I know the Hefner Golf Clubhouse is undergoing a total rebuild.
Right. The Lincoln Clubhouse is fantastic. The Early Wine Clubhouse now is fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all really good.
All right.
Do you play golf?
No. But I will tell you, though, that when I worked at the city in public information, one of the shows I did cable TV stuff, and I produced a monthly show called Pastimes. It was mainly Parks and Rec stuff. And so I would go out to a golf course and say, take a putting lesson or a driving lesson and put that on TV. And the first time I was able to hit it long and straight,
Yeah.
oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my, I understood. I understood.
Just takes that one shot.
And I thought,
Get you come back.
Yeah, take this club away from me. That felt too good. I better not do that again, or I won't quit. City politics. Now, I know enough about city government to know that there's a lot of politics going around. Do you tell me you stay above the fray?
Try to. Yeah. I mean, I'm not about policy. City council and the mayor set policy and I execute it. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I answer to the city manager, or the assistant city manager, and then to the city manager. They give me the maps for map, so to speak, and we go execute it.
Okay. All right. Well, David, thank you so much for this. You said it was not going to be a very long interview. I find it fascinating, but unless you want to start telling tales of your college years, I don't.
No, I'm just glad there wasn't Facebook or anything.
No kidding. Yeah. My daddy used to say, "What good is it being young if you can't be stupid?" And I'm so glad we didn't have cell phones back then.
Yeah.
David, thank you for being my guest on This Town OKC, sponsored by Carpenter Square Theater, edited by Fred O. Bishop. I'm Rick Allen Lippert. This has been a Lippert Media production.